Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Noisy Neighbours podcast. Christian, we've just done some incomings at United in Cunyon and Wemo. Go check that one out if you like this one. And now we're talking about another incoming, but it's someone that we don't want to come into the club again.
Yeah.
Mr. Jadon Sancho. Christian, are you ready to get into this?
Yeah, man, definitely. This will be an interesting one. I'm looking forward to your thoughts since this broke. So, yeah, let's hit it.
Yeah, I mean, look, we actually did an episode way back on when this got rumoured in February time, to be honest, with Sancho coming back. So I'm sure everyone knows, but just to sort of prime the episode, Manchester United sent Jadon Sancho on loan to Chelsea last August. I think it was August. It was late on in the window. Might have been last day, actually. On loan with a compulsory, quote unquote, buy option for 25 million, very cheap in this day and age, Christian. I think they might have paid a loan fee and they covered a lot of his salary. Anyway, don't know the ins and outs.
Yeah.
But the headline is today, it's been reported that Chelsea have failed to agree personal terms with Sancho, which I think that's not the only reason they don't want to sign him. But anyway, we'll get into it. So the headline is, they are getting out of the compulsory buy option by paying a 5 mil compensation. Essentially, Chelsea are paying 5 million to not have Sancho.
That's exactly what they're doing.
It doesn't feel long ago, mate, since Borussia Dortmund set a 120 million valuation on him, which, look, is absolute. Like,
can we ban Dortmund from taking English players? I hear they're going for Joby Bellingham. I tell you what, just anyone be careful buying from Borussia Dortmund. Jesus Christ, man.
Honestly, Christian, what can we say about this guy? I mean, we'll get to what his valuation might be. United are stuck with him. Chelsea have paid 5 million to not sign him. What are your immediate reaction to that?
My immediate reaction, like you say, we went into this quite a long time ago. This guy has an ego. He did at Manchester United. He's always thought he was better than he was, going back to his days at my club. He's always thought more highly of himself than anybody else has. And this is just consistently gone on in his career. We know this lad is on 300 grand a week. Now, some idiot at United obviously thought that was a bright idea. Chelsea, look, you touched on something when you brought it up, and you said personal terms would not have been a problem, right? You are right. If he'd have had the season he had, Chelsea don't give a shit. We've seen them with wages. They do not mind paying that. And they knew his wages before they signed this deal with United, saying they'd take it for 25 million. They knew Sancho wouldn't have took a cut on it anyway. They have done this because they were like, right, we are having to pay to send this guy back. And it is quite a low fee. So it's like, well, for 20 million more, we can actually just have the asset. However, they have obviously gone to him and said, we are nowhere near your valuation on them wages. So you're coming down on them. And Sancho has obviously been like, no, I'm not. Or he's not come down anywhere near enough for them. Now, this is unprecedented. We have never seen a team, or I certainly can't remember an instance like this. Alex, you're a bit older than me. I don't know whether you have either. I've never known a team to sign a pre-agreement upon the end of the loan and then pay a fee to get out of having the player. It is astonishing, but it just leans to how bad this guy is. He's such a bang average footballer. He lacks all the best things, all the best qualities and the exciting qualities of a winger. He lacks all of them. But yeah, Alex, you tell me your thoughts on potentially what this means.
Just on the salary and this, that Chelsea wanted him to come down to 120 grand a week. That's a big pay cut. That's a big pay cut because people have realised how crap you were. People like me and Christian in 2020, obviously, way before we started this podcast, unfortunately, because I'd love to be pulling them receipts today where we said he lacks 1v1 ability, he lacks pace, he lacks power. The Bundesliga statistics come from shit defending and high lines. We said it, we called it before United did this. And I was so annoyed when the signing went through. United fans were falling over themselves. It was embarrassing. I just want to talk about that salary. They want him to come down to 120 grand a week. Just in that sort of ilk, Chelsea. Adarabioyo is on 120 grand a week. That's where Levi Colwill is on 100 grand a week. Ben Chilwell is on 100 grand a week. Jackson's on 100 grand a week. This is where they are looking at him and going, this is where we think you are, mate. And I think they came into this negotiations with Sancho going, let's lowball him to the point where he turns us down. We can justify it to the fans going, we're not putting him on more than Palmer. You can fucking forget it. Send him back, pay the 5 million, whatever. Now, Jadon Sancho is a beneficiary of the most gross negligence at Manchester United. It's beyond what Man United did in some of these negotiations. It actually beggars belief, really, and he is up there with some of them. He's got to be top three with sort of your Antonys, your Højlunds, and all this other stuff. But 300 grand a week for a winger who can't beat people. What we doing? He's fucking rubbish. We've got people paying 5 million to not have him. 5 years ago, Ollie and fucking Ed Woodward are sat there umming and ahhing. Should we spend 120 million on the guy? This is the level of incompetence Man United have been dealing with. Yeah. Ed Woodward, we can do things others can't in the transfer window. Yeah, drop massive eggs like putting shit bastards like him on 300 grand a week. 300 grand a week to dribble up to the fullback, turn back, lay it off. You know, it's so funny at the beginning of the season. Chelsea fans are on Twitter and I'm finding them and they're going, this Sancho guy don't want to crease his boots, does he? Yeah, he doesn't. He don't want to. He's no pace. He's no power. He's not got the centre of gravity. He can't go one way, two ways. He dribbles up to the fullback. He turns back, lays it off to the midfielder Caicedo or Cucurella, his fullback. Rinse, repeat. Every so often you'll create an overload and he'll get a shot and it'll go in. That's it. He's rubbish.
Alex, he's got less ability than Nathan Redmond in his prime.
Oh, he's...
But Alex, what's astonishing about this deal, right? I didn't know about the 100. I knew he wouldn't take a pay cut. I didn't know the numbers. They're the numbers that 120,000. That's what Chelsea were going to stretch to.
That's what I've got off Twitter, obviously.
Right. Well, it must. To be fair, I mean, it tells us that they were obviously offering him less. Yeah. The facts were that they couldn't come to an agreement. So there's obviously some sort of significant barrier. Right. So here's my thing with Sancho. We saw when this all broke, he was fucking saying freedom and being very disrespectful to Man United. Now, I have no issue personally with anyone being disrespectful to Man United. I find it quite funny. But from a pure footballing perspective, I think that guy is an absolute idiot. He was disrespecting the club, who, to be fair, bent over backwards, completely overpaid for him, backed him when no one else would, sent him on some sort of fucking 6-month sabbatical. That we never really knew what that was for. Comes back, he still stinks the gaff out. Then he moves. Then he's giving United shit on Instagram, commenting on Rashford's post. Now, Chelsea have said, we don't want you, we'll pay the 5 million to get out of it. What astonishes me is he's turned down this lowered salary from Chelsea. They give him a chance to get out of that nightmare, really, that he created himself, I might add. And he's gone, no. But in my thinking, I'm like, well, dude, what are you thinking then? Because for me, your only options now are Saudi that would be maybe daft enough to give you anywhere near to them wages. Because the other teams, Alex, that I'm hearing that could potentially be interested, Dortmund, Leverkusen... well, we know Leverkusen potentially could do a madness because of certain reasons. But no, being serious, the clubs that are mentioned that could go there with this deal are not going to give him anywhere near close to possibly what even Chelsea are offering. So, for me, I don't think he's thought this through, unless he's willing to absolutely shithouse this situation and just be like, fuck it, I'll just sit there in the reserves and collect money, I'm not bothered. Which, if he's willing to do that, well, whatever, fair play to him. Someone was daft enough to give him the contract. But for me, I don't think it's even that. I think he's surrounded himself with idiots who have actually told him he's worth this. And he genuinely thinks someone else is going to come in and offer him like $250 a week or something. That, mate, Jadon, they're not. They've all watched you play football. They're all aware of how shit you are. No one's going to go and give anyone that kind of money of your ability of football. So it's just, it's madness.
Look, what is the guy's valuation? I mean, what do United do now? Because we are in this position where you're almost stuck with the nightmare. This freedom stuff you mentioned, I mean, the cheeky bastard. I'll tell you what freedom is me not having to watch you run up to the fullback, turn around and lay it off every time you get it. And now you've come back. I mean, I can't imagine he's going to make an appearance. But freedom is not about it. You freed yourself so successfully. The club has paid $5 million to send you back. This isn't like we just not took you up on the like the Rashford situation where Villa are like, no, we can't, and we've got fucking him back as well. No doubt.
Chelsea paid a $5 million ransom to send him back to prison.
yeah, I know. What I mean, what? How have we ended up in this situation? Like, he's back on full wages at United now. But that's the thing. Like, you look at it and you think from United's perspective. I think we got he's on $250 a week. Not that that's better, but I think because we didn't get Champions League, they all got a deduction. I think.
Right.
So he's actually on $250 a week. Right, million a month, 12 million a year. He must have 3 years left. 12 times 3. 36 million. That's how much United are staring at now with this salary situation. If we can't shift him, it's important United get off this wages. Like, the 25 million is irrelevant, really. It's the salary. We want to be off it. And look, I don't know whether United had. I don't know, really. Was this the down payment for fucking Cunha? Was this the Klarna first payment? Sancho 25 mil?
But this is what I find incredibly odd about this whole situation. I understand Chelsea's point of view of paying you $5 million to send him back, although it was stupid to ever agree to this in the first place because we all knew he was shit from his showings at Man United. I knew he was shit from his showings at City at youth level. But anyway, we can go deeper into that.
Yeah.
Chelsea got themselves in this mess. They've then sent him back. The one bit I don't understand about this whole saga is Jadon himself. Of where he thinks he's at in his career, because he must have agents around him that go, look, sorry to tell you this, mate, but yes, you are getting offered 100 grand a week by Chelsea, but if we leave this, then you're going to go back to United, we're going to struggle to get a suitor, and the suitor that we may get may not be able to afford much over 80 grand a week, so you might end up worse off. So then you're left with, Sancho, are you okay potentially to see out this contract and just waste your career? We've seen players do it before. Don't get me wrong, looking at him and his attitude, he looks like a player that's very much capable of it. But it's just like, I don't know from his point of view. I'm not in his head. I think he massively overestimates his ability, and he genuinely thinks someone's going to come in for him and pay it.
Yeah, I think he could sit on the salary. I don't think there's any. I really don't. I don't think he's of the care that he will not take this pay cut because he thinks that he's. I don't know, but how can he look at his fucking shitty little 3 goals, 4 assists and think, I want fucking 200 grand a week?
I think players look at it now. We've had it a lot with like Calvin Phillips, and I think we're going to go through this with Grealish. So he's got 2 years left on his deal, Grealish, and the players themselves are surrounded by money, greedy bastards, and they will go, right, well, someone daft enough to give you this contract did give it you. If we leave and get a permanent deal, West Ham aren't going to put you on that, and I'm not going to get as much off you. So what the best option is United will fold because United don't want you around the squad. They will agree to pay 30 or 50% of your wages, and we can send him to someone mid-table or maybe abroad at Dortmund again. And that's the way Sancho will still see all of his wages, his $250 a week. He gets to play elsewhere. He can still shithouse the situation. And I think that's the only way he must be thinking about this, because he surely knows no one's going to give him that contract that United did again. He must be aware of that.
But to your point, he don't need anybody to give it him again because he's got, 3 years? So,
if he wants to sit there, mate, he can.
But it does come with the fact of not playing football, which surely they all want to do. I mean, you have lads out there who play football for free. They pay to play. We pay 15 quid a month to get up on a Sunday hungover to play. And he won't fucking take a pay cut to 120 grand a week or what. I don't know. Look, did Chelsea just think we ain't offering him anything? Let's lowball him. It could be less than that. Imagine if they just lowball
10 grand a week.
Yeah. They were like, look, that's shit. We'll just give you an offer that he won't accept. And he's off. And then look, the thing to Chelsea as well. Well, we gave him what we think he's worth. We're not blowing. So we're not pissing off other players that are better than him in the squad. And I don't, look, Chelsea have done, they've not been brilliant in the transfer market, but this is one of their better decisions. There's no doubt about it. 5 million, Christian, 250 grand a week, 5 million. That's only 5 months of the year.
Yeah.
So come Christmas, they've broke even already with Sancho. Right.
So just a quick one, Alex, on this. Where do you? I guess from what you said, you genuinely think this guy is going to shithouse this and sit and just go, "I'll collect the money,"
I think.
or do you see a low? Do you see like what I said? Do you see maybe a Dortmund, a Leverkusen loan, and you'll pay 50%, they'll pay 50%?
Problem is though, we keep doing this. We keep paying for him to play for other fucking clubs.
But this is the situation you find yourself in.
I mean, look, we need to find someone to take him and offer him 180 grand a week by the looks of it. We're gonna have to pray for Al Hilal to lose. Apparently Bruno don't want to go there. Do you want him? Fuck me. It's like a fucking shit conveyor belt for Al Hilal. You can't have Bruno. Do you want Rashford? Do you want Anthony? Do you want Sancho? Hopefully they'll just pick one of them off the conveyor.
Cashier number 5, please. Fucking Anthony waddles up.
So look, I'm not letting it get me down because I'm happy with Cunyon and Buemo, but he's just an annoying little twat. I hated that. England played a friendly or a qualifier against a team that had part-timers in, and he took someone on the left wing. Some people watching this might know, and he was watching it back in a film room with somebody else, another player. I don't know who it was. I can't remember. And they were taking the piss because this guy fell over as he was chasing Sancho. The guy was a part-time. He wasn't really a full-time player, and they were laughing at him, going, "How old are you, mate?" And it's like, "Fuck me! You managed to take someone on for the first time in your life, and you're laughing at guys on 50, 60 quid a week."
I didn't even know that, but that just that guy is an absolute cunt, and no one on it. If you are a grown man and you like this guy's attitude, he's a pure dickhead, and his footballing ability, he's laughing at people that are part time or whatever, mate. You should just feel fortunate that you aren't part-time. You are shit. I don't know how you ever got out of the fucking academy, cock.
He's just a soft, pathetic player. Like the Mount signing will hurt me forever. This will hurt me forever. It's like, we get comments on it, don't we? Like, oh, you two, you don't know what you're talking about. You sat in a room and you know what annoys me though is how stupid old me. He sat there in 2020 going, and you as well, in fairness, we both shared the same opinion, of Sancho going, don't see it. Don't see the 1v1. Don't see the burst of pace and power. You're going to bring him to a league that you need pace and power in, and you're going to think these Bundesliga bullshit stats are going to translate. They're not. They didn't, and look where we are now. And it's like the same with Mount. Why am I sat here going, that'll never work? I'm not a fucking coach. I sit here and do a podcast with my brother. Why is little old me sat here going, there's no way Mount, Casemiro, and Fernandes will work? What?
Yeah,
exactly. What's the level of people we employ at this club? Woodward and Ollie. Ollie sits. Look, I like Ollie as a guy, and he did bring some good football in his tenure here. I will give him that. However, Ollie, you go on the overlap with Gary Neville and Keane and whoever's on that episode that Ollie did, and he was talking about Sancho, and he went, well, yes, but Sancho, he wanted to play on the left as well. Right. Sancho was meant to be the right wing answer. Now, I could have told you he wanted to play on the left. We had Martial 3 times the better player than him. Rashford twice the player Sancho is. And then you go and get him for 75 million and go, he's not good on the right. Fuck me, Ollie. Where were you, mate? What is this? Did Woodward and Ollie watch Sancho at Dortmund? He played on the left. We had Martial and Rashford. That was the one position we were actually competent in at the time. Yeah. I know they've both gone on to, they're finished now, both of them. But I'm just saying, going back to 2019, 2020, we didn't need a left winger. No. And now you go, let's go and get him from Dortmund, a league where these stats aren't going to translate. Fucking hell, Ollie. If he'd have come on the overlap and gone, yeah, well, I thought he was going to be better than Dan James, so we bought him. I would have been, well, he's not better than Dan James, I can answer you that. However, we didn't need... Christian, you remember the team, Rashford, Martial, Lingard, and Dan James. So you're looking at that going, we do need to upgrade Dan James. Everybody could see that. But Ollie comes into the fucking Neville and goes, well, he wanted to play on the left as well. Brilliant. Cheers, cock. Yeah. You and Woodward sat there on fucking Wikipedia, like refreshing his stats. Go and watch him. Fuck me.
Yeah, Alex, I never got it at the time. I don't think people did watch him. And just a little thing on that, I see people commenting. We've had it a few times where they're like, "Oh, you sat in a room like talking about football. All right, mate. Where do you want us to sit? And also, what do you want us to say?
Yeah.
We're watching fucking dross. What do you want me to sit and be a pleb like you and tell people that they're good? No, I watch football with my eyes, and if someone's shit, I'll just say the shit. If you want to sit there and go, no, they're good. Right, well, fair enough, mate. I don't know what you're watching. Like, I just don't understand it.
You're sat in a room commenting on two guys sat in a room talking. You're saying he's good, we're saying he's shit. What are you any different?
I know. What do you want me to go downstairs and watch Emmerdale and just start saying that's good, even though I don't like it? No, I won't. I'll turn the fucking telly off.
Yeah, exactly. It's optional. Scroll past us. But look, I think that's the thing. Like, it really. I mean, I just wish he'd never gone in the overlap and said that, because it's. I didn't love it at the time, but I thought, oh God, right. Well, we do need to upgrade James.
Yeah.
Looking around Europe, I didn't want to do it, but it's like, but to then come and say he wanted to play on the left, fuck me.
Yeah, how was that not discussed? How was that not discussed in like terms of when you were signing this guy? Did you not have a discussion with him going like, right, Jadon, where do you see yourself? Where do you see yourself in the squad? What do you see yourself doing? Where was that not discussed? Was that just like was it like 4 weeks in? He goes to Ollie, and Ollie's like, I bloody didn't know this. Like, bro, you spent 75 million.
Yeah, I know. Let's just look at this. So 2019-20 season, right? Anthony Martial scored 17 goals in the league and got 6 assists. Rashford wasn't far behind. Both very good on the left. We were in this position where we didn't need to do anything. We didn't need to go and get. And listen, we haven't got to his attitude. We're just looking at his footballing ability. Yeah. Sancho was never better than Martial. He was never better than Rashford. Fuck, he still isn't. And they're finished at wherever Martial is. Like, it's incompetence at this club that you have to deal with, Christian. It's like, we laugh and go, oh, is United's transfer policy just refreshing Twitter and seeing what fucking Hoyland season thinks he's good? Honestly, I think Ollie and Woodward, based on what he said, I don't think they ever watched Sancho. I honestly think they sat there in a room and went on Twitter and went, who do they want to sign? Sancho. Yeah, he's a good lad, Jadon. Fucking thick.
Alex, did you ever see when Mike Bassett was made into a series like ages ago, and they fucking end up getting hoaxed into buying that player, saying he's like one of the best players in the league, and he's like all the highlights sort of like fucking goals going in. Turns out to be the keeper. I feel like they're the same kind of guys that were running it, to be honest.
Yeah. We were watching all the Dortmund highlights going, fuck me, is good. We go and sign him. We thought we were signing Royce. He turns up there, it's like, you dyed your hair, mate. But it's like, people are going to
look a bit different.
United fans are going to watch this. Some of my very close friends are going to watch this and they're going to be annoyed that I'm having a go at Ollie. But come on, wake up. We had 75 million a pot to go and spend somewhere in 300 grand a week, and we lumped it on him in a position we didn't need.
Yeah, it makes no sense. And again, not only that, you lumped it on a player who didn't fit that position, but you also lumped it on a player from a foreign league who we knew in that league he wasn't showing signs that he was blitzing past players or that he was. Did he ever show anything that made you think, oh, he's gonna be rinsing the Premier League when he's out? No, he didn't. A lot of his goals were Marco Reus playing a through ball through atrocious Bundesliga defending who plays silly high lines. He then cuts it back to Haaland and Haaland scored into empty nets. Mate, I was honestly not getting too excited about the Haaland one. Of course, it was like, we're signing the guy everybody wants. Even I was a bit like, look, do not trust that fucking league. But at least with Haaland, you were like, right, he's a physical fucking beast. Like, he's gonna score because of how, his stature and his build and his power. But Sancho, it was the riskiest deal ever because unless he did something that we hadn't seen, which is very unlikely because we'd all watched him for years, then we knew what was going to happen, and ultimately that has. And to be fair, I don't think a signing has ever gone as bad as this because even you could say, Anthony was bought for 90, but he has gone to Betis and reinvented himself. And to be fair, you actually are going to be able to get a fee for him, probably a decent one at that. So Sancho has done nothing but disgrace himself. since that Dortmund move, apart from when he went back to them. And to be honest, he was still shit. It was so average, but people were like, oh, he's done it again. He squared it and someone scored. He's took a penalty. Oh, fuck off.
Someone. I hate it. Don't be showing me megs. It's a low percentage move. I bet you for every one he tries, the only person who can megs people at a high clip is Messi. And I'm not even putting him in the same sentence or breath.
Yeah, even Neymar was wasteful with it. Neymar, when he megs people, half the time he lost it. So it's
show me a body feint. Show me your low center of gravity. Show me your burst. Eden Hazard never tried to megs anyone because he never fucking had to.
No.
It's not about YouTube. It's not about getting a little short to go viral. It's about being effective over 90 minutes. You don't have the tools. You don't have the brain. You don't have the fitness, the stamina, the focus. He's fucking crap. But yeah, I think it was important to mention a little bit of history behind this because, look, the nightmare is back. And I do want to look at the reason he's at the club in the first place. And I'm looking at Ollie and I'm looking at Woodward. So if you like Ollie, look, I like Ollie. I think Ollie did some good things at this club. That was an absolute fuck up.
I love how if I very much doubt he is, but if Ten Hag is a subscriber and he listens, he'll be thinking, I've actually got the episode off this week.
Yeah.
It was Ollie's turn to get put through the ringer.
To be honest, Sancho is the only thing I agreed with Ten Hag on.
You got that in common.
That was, to be honest, like that shows up how bad he is. That Mr. Ridiculously shit talent ID Eric Ten Hag actually got this one right. That's how obvious it is. Even Ten Hag knew he were crap. There we go. There's me and you sat in a room talking shit. Well, we were sat in a room 5 years ago saying he can't beat a man 1v1 and we should stay well away. And look where we are now. Yeah. So, yeah. I appreciate that, whoever said that comment.
Talking shit, but it's accurate shit, so...
Yeah. So, look, he's back with a vengeance. Imagine if he
just the final thought, Alex. What do you see? Do you think you can get rid of this dude, or what do you think the best course of action is for Man United? Obviously, he is coming back. Would you even take him on pre-season? Would you try and showcase something of him to try and get a move? Or...
Oh, well, I suppose, you make a good point, really. I mean... The problem is we don't put people in shop windows, do we? We decimate their value, then try and sell them. So, I mean, look, in this scenario, I mean, Chelsea have sort of, it's like standing in a showroom and the guy in front of you is pointing at a car you're about to buy saying, I'm bringing this back because its fucking engine's packed in. You're stood there with your fucking checkbook. Like,
that is not to. I do actually rate Amorim and I like certain parts of him, but yeah, he certainly took the wrong approach to this Garnacho thing. Things getting leaked by ESPN, going, "Well, you better hope you can find a new club." It's like, bro, you're trying to sell him.
Brilliant, that. Yeah, I mean, what is he going to say to Sancho? Fuck me. I tell you, have you seen Amorim? He has cuts on his hands from punching walls and tellies and shit. He'll fucking punch Sancho after one trip.
Oh, I'd love that. I tell you what, if he did that. I'd never say anything bad about Amorim ever again. He'd be a fucking legend if he twats that idiot.
Yeah, look, maybe you can package him up and send him if we could sign someone. But then again, we'll include Sancho in the deal, and the fee will go up. He'll be like to Sporting, can we get Yorkeres? And we'll be like, there's 60 million Sancho, and they'll go, just give us 50. Fuck that, we don't want.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So,
it's so true.
It's quite funny, Christian. I've spoke to you about the NBA, and what they do in the NBA is if they've got a player that's washed on a high contract, to actually send him somewhere, they have to attach assets. So, they're like, right, we're trading him. There's a draft pick. There's a draft pick. Just take him off our hands. We're in this situation with Sancho. It's like, there you go. There's 20 million. Just have him.
Alex, his value is minus 5 million currently.
I know, you're right.
That's genuinely his value. So I mean, this is the other thing. If United are trying to sell, if I was United personally, I would actually give him away for free because at least then you can not pay this wages. Forget the nightmare ever happened. At least you got 5 million off Chelsea, and maybe you can con someone to disrupt their wage bill like a Dortmund and go, well, look, you would have given us 20 million anyway. Just give him that in wages.
When you talk about giving away for free, what are you thinking of? Create some conspiracy, gross misconduct story here, or something like get Saul Goodman in to try and sue him out of the club.
I don't know. You need something. You do need Saul. I think he'd be the best.
We'll frame Sancho for something and get him done on gross misconduct.
God, he'll be on the
But,
next season of Making a Murderer.
we'll fuck that up. We'll fuck that up, and we'll end up winning more. Yeah, mate. Look, oh God, look. Anybody watching this? If anybody's watching this, well, put it this way: if you like Sancho, I'm guessing you've not got to this point of the video. If you are of sane mind and got decent eyesight and a reasonably good telly, I'm guessing you think the same as me and my brother. So look, hit us up in the comments. What have we got right? What would you do with Sancho? And if you like the video, give us a like, give us a subscribe, and anything you want us to discuss, put it in the comments. We'll try and shout you out. Christian, thanks for joining us on this terrible, terrible moment. But
cheers, bro.
We move on. We've done a happy episode with Cunyon and Buemo, so I'll deal.
I had to bring you back down to earth, didn't I?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it didn't last for long. Thanks a lot, Christian, and thanks for listening, everyone. Catch us on the next one.